We all have our favorite ingredient combos like pineapple and yogurt, banana and milk for smoothie. They all sound right until we understand how this ingredient actually behaves when paired together. Most people pair food based on taste alone. You notice someone is about to eat cake and he grabs a bottle of Pepsi. Sweet for sweet. They do not worry about pairing. As long as it tastes good going down, they're happy. Hi, I'm Funny Sibang and welcome to episode 2 of my podcast series, Cooking Beyond Recipe, Thinking in Ingredients. In this episode, we'll go beyond flavor and look at how ingredients actually behaves. If you want to give attention to your health, you don't just pair ingredients, you observe their behaviors. How an ingredient reacts to heat, to fat, and to acid determines what it pairs best with. For instance, this is carrot in a raw state and this is carrot when frozen. You can use this raw carrot to prepare something like carrot stir fry, or you can include it in your salad because they still have that crisp texture. But once carrots are frozen, they lose that crunch. Freezing breaks down its cell walls and they release moisture when thawed. So when you use frozen carrot in dishes like stir fries or in salad, the dish loses its freshness. Although that doesn't make it to be useless, it just behaves differently, better suited for cooked dishes like soups, stews and sauces where the extra moisture helps to blend flavors. Every ingredient has a personality. Some thicken, some absorb flavors, some mellow others, while some fight for attention. Think about onions. When you saute them in hot oil, they taste sweeter and more balanced than in the raw state. A spice like nutmeg is fat soluble, and that is why it releases its aroma and flavor so well in hot oil. One ingredient can behave differently depending on how it is cooked, whether in water, in hot oil, or on a grill. That is why two dishes made with the same ingredients can taste completely different. So, understanding the flavor balance, the chemical behaviors, and how aroma interact is what lets you pair ingredients thoughtfully. Have you been observing slices of lemon in fish dishes and you wonder why that is so? Lemon juice is acidic and it wakes up bland or fatty dishes. If you were to eat a dish that gives your mouth a greasy feel, the addition of lemon juice can help to lift such greasy mouth feel. The same way a coconut milk is added to spicy dishes and you always observe slices of cucumbers are placed beside spicy dishes. So ingredients like coconut and cucumbers, they have neutral flavors. It's just like when you eat a dish that is so spicy and you feel like drinking water. If there is no water on the table, vegetables like cucumber can help to mellow the heat. If there is no cucumber and there is coconut milk in the dish, it can also help to mellow the heat. That is what we mean by them having neutral flavor. Let me make it very practical. If a soup turns out too salty, people normally say, just drop in a piece of potato inside the soup. Why that works is because potato has a neutral flavor. It does not compete with the taste of the soup. And because it is neutral and starchy, it quietly absorbs the salt and balances the soup. Let me show you how this mindset plays out in real cooking. I had some okra, but I did not want the usual soup. I wanted something lighter, a dish that respects how okra behaves. So I started blanching the okra briefly in water with a bit of baking powder. I then refresh it in cold water just to stop the cooking process. After that, I dry the okra before cutting it because slicing it while it is wet increases its slime. As you can see, the okra is generating very little slime. I then stir fry it using coconut oil. Many people think that okra is limited in recipes because of that its slimy texture, but with a few techniques, you can turn it to so many interesting dishes. For instance, when you cut okra while it is dry, you reduce how much slime it releases, and that's because once okra gets in contact with water, the slime is activated and it gets thickened. Another technique you can apply is cooking okra on a high heat, and that's because if you cook it on a high heat, the heat will quickly evaporate moisture and break down some of those thickening compounds, and you have a cleaner texture of your dish. Stir frying works really well too, like the way I did in the video. It works so well because it will help your okra to stay so crisp and it will prevent it from sitting too long in the liquid. And as a result, you have an okra that is full of flavor and not slimy. Something that you can pair with your grains, your rice. You can even toast it into your salad. As at the time I recorded this clip, I plan to add some fermented onion pickles, but they were still fermenting as you are seeing here, although a touch of acidity from the pickles would have balanced the plate, so I only made it this simple as you are seeing here. Understanding ingredients does not stop in the kitchen. What if I told you that even before buying a food product, you can predict how it will behave in your pot? Whether or not there are hidden sugars and the percentage of ingredients that are used just by reading the ingredients label. That is what we are going to explore in our next episode. I am sure you are not going to miss this. I am Foni Sebara and this is Cooking Beyond Recipes. Thank you for staying to the end. I'll see you again.